losing in the first round, that's kind of like the understatement here. Like we got up to a 3-1 series lead in this one, and we still lost. And in game 7, to cap off this awful series, we give our worst performance of the series. Congratulations to the Montreal Canadiens for beating the Toronto Maple Leafs in 7 games and winning the series 4-3. If you haven't watched the last video, go check it out. We will be saying a lot of similar stuff today or tonight as we did in that one. Yeah, we kind of saw this coming. You know, Tyler and I were saying that, you know, there's a very good chance they don't win game 7, and they came out flat. We said that they had to get off to a good start, get a lead, just kind of run away with it. They had to win this one like 3-0, 4-0, get a big lead if they wanted to have a chance at winning this game. And they come out flat again. They give up the first goal. They give up the second goal. They give up the third goal as well. It's an empty netter. Shades of last year's game 5 against Columbus, where they just got goalied by Korpisalo. Kind of similar thing tonight. But I think this one was a lot worse because they didn't even get that many chances to score. They weren't generating anything. Yeah, like I said, just very similar to that game. And it's an even worse feeling now. Just losing this one, it hurts the most. But I guess going into the game, like we were prepared. We were prepared for a loss, and we weren't expecting that much. I know I was saying in the last video that like I'm not even gonna watch it. Like, no, I'm a loyal Leafs fan. A lot of you in the comment section was right. I am a loyal Leafs fan. I'm gonna watch it no matter what. You're right. When it came to game day, I was hyped for this game, but still, I was not getting my hopes up. I was excited for the game. Leafs Habs game 7. It doesn't get much better than that. An historic rivalry. But I was not expecting the Leafs to win, and we were correct. I knew as soon as Montreal scored the first goal, it was over. It just felt like that. Anything you want to say, Tyler, or touch on right now?
I mean, you touched on the Leafs getting out goalied, and I don't think you can brush off how good Price was this game. I think he was the Habs' best player by far. You kind of figured he was going to show up in a game 7 like he always does. He seems to be a pretty average goalie in the regular season. Sorry if I make any Habs fans angry by saying that, but it's true. But in the playoffs, he seems to be able to find another gear, and that's why he's still considered so valuable. And tonight he found that gear, and the Leafs did manage to have a few good scoring chances, and Price was just up to the task on all of them. So I don't think you can underestimate just how good of a game he played. That being said, Campbell on the other side, I think he played well. He played well too. Like he has all series. I think. I hope this is a wake up call to maybe some of the fans that are thinking, oh no, we can still win with this core. This core is still able to win. The past few years, the critique has been, oh well, Anderson hasn't shown up for us. He hasn't made big saves and big moments. Well, this year we got big saves and big moments. We've gotten the best goaltending we've had over the last 5 years this series, and it still wasn't enough. So where do you go from here? I think this should hopefully wake people up into realizing that this core is not capable of winning a playoff series. I would understand saying, "Whoa, slow down! Don't be too rash! Don't make a crazy decision, blowing the team up or trading one of the big guys." If this was the second series we had lost in a row, but we're on series number 5 in 5 years, losing in the first round. So, like we were talking about last time, it's the definition of insanity.
And the same thing every single year.
Expecting a different result. And what we do every year is we tinker with the fourth line, we tinker with the bottom pairing of the D, and we expect big things to happen. I mean, to be fair, this year they went out and added Brody, which was a good move. I think he was one of the best guys for the Leafs all series. He looked
Oh yeah.
active, engaged, strong defensively, picked up a big goal in game 5.
Really stepped
Game
up
6.
when Muzzin got out. Really
Yeah,
stepped up his game,
exactly. He
even
looked
offensively.
yeah, he looked good tonight again. Um, they picked up Foligno, who unfortunately was injured the first couple games. You don't like to see that with the guy you brought in specifically for the playoffs to be sitting out. What was it, 3 games? Um,
Yep.
but I
Didn't get a goal. Did not
yeah,
record a goal as a Toronto Maple
exactly.
Leaf.
Did not record a goal. Same number as Mitch Marner this postseason. But that's something for later in the video. I think we might talk about that at some point. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. I if Leafs fans haven't woken up and realized that this team needs needs a change, needs a shakeup, needs something to happen more than just adding a third liner and a fifth defenseman, then I don't know what to tell you. I guess good on you for still being a fan, for still getting excited every year.
Yeah.
It must be nice to have expectations like that going into every season, but I honestly think this round the energy has changed for a lot of people. I saw a lot of people on Instagram, people I follow, like throwing away their jerseys. Steve Dangle
Might
has
not do
basically
LFRs next year.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's not doing those next year, which that's he's been doing that for probably what, more than a decade now. So
Yep.
I think things might start to change. I don't know what I want to hear from the Leafs at this point. I definitely don't want to hear a dumb apology like the Lightning did that year they got swept by Columbus. I think that was really sad and stupid to to do something like that. But I don't know what do you want to hear? I don't know what I want to hear from management, from players. I don't know what I want to hear.
I don't know what they're gonna even say. Like Keefe didn't even speak to the players after this game, which is really surprising to me. He said in his post-game press conference that he's gonna wait 2 days to get the players back here and then we'll talk. That's what he said. So it just amazes me that nobody, management wise or coaching wise, can think about what to say about this team. And I don't know what they're going to say. What do you plan on saying? What do you plan on telling your fan base who is completely like, it's not even frustrated anymore. It's like mind boggled.
Yep.
Like, we don't understand how this team was able to, like, losing in the first round. That's kind of like the understatement here. Like, we got up to a 3-1 series lead in this one and we
Yep.
still lost. And in game 7, to cap off this awful series, we give our worst performance of the series in
Yep.
game 7. We did not show up to play. That is inexcusable. All these Leafs players, every single season, you hear in their exit press conferences, they're just like, oh, we're going to learn from this, and we're just using the momentum from the previous season. We know how it feels to lose. That experience is going to help us the next year. Try 5 times in a row. You're
Yep.
saying that. This is experience that losing is not good experience. Like, you can say you're using it as motivation all you want. It's not translating to wins. How long are you going to keep saying that for? And you know what? Uh, I I've been thinking about this a lot as well. I don't like what I'm doing right now. I don't like arguing. I don't like being frustrated at this team and vocalizing my awful opinions about them. I don't want to put down this team at all. I feel like it's it's really negative to even say this stuff about the team that I love and the team that I want to see win, because I feel like if everybody says positive things, and or maybe not saying positive things, but at the end of the day, like, even if I say negative things or media people will say negative things, we say the negative things because we care so much and we want to see them win and succeed. And when one person succeeds, we all succeed. So I feel like maybe some people in the media need to be more uplifting with this team. Maybe the players obviously watch all this stuff and they're on social media, all that stuff. Maybe that's causing something. I don't like arguing, and also you got to give respect to these players. They're NHL players. They're the best in the world. I don't want to be putting anyone down, but at the same time, they're not producing. They're not doing their job. This is their job, and some people are getting paid way too much money to be playing hockey for this city and not living up to expectations. Yeah, so I'm pretty heated. But like I said, I don't want to be heated because I want to see
Yeah.
them do well and win.
Well, to touch on what you were saying about the negativity, I think there's a big difference between critiquing the team and even individual players and just straight up being disrespectful and mean to players. Like at the end of the day, that they're human beings. They're human beings with lives, with families. They have feelings too. And I know there's probably tons of Leafs fans right now going to Marner's Instagram or Twitter or
Oh
Matthews'
yeah.
Instagram or
Oh
Twitter
yeah.
and sending tons of hate mail, and that's just not it's not what you do. I understand the frustration, but that isn't going to solve anything. You can sit down and have genuine critiques for Marner not scoring any goals in the series and not looking too engaged or interested. You can have a critique on Matthews not only scoring one goal in the series, but at the end of the day, it needs to remain a critique and doesn't need to become a personal attack. Doesn't need to become just straight up disrespectful to a human being who I know I don't think it's their fault that Dubas and upper management has built a team that is incapable of winning in the playoffs. They're good players in their own right that we have.
Yes. Very
They're just
skilled.
not
Very
they're
skilled.
just very skilled. They're just not when they're all together and they're the core, we just can't win playoff games. You can have one or two guys like that part of your core for sure. You look at a team like Colorado who just stomped Vegas last night 7-1.
Yeah.
And you
Oh my
see
god.
they have a
Yeah.
guy like their top line, they have a guy like Rantanen, who I think is obviously he's more of a goal scorer than Marner, but he's same sort of skilled player, not the most
It's kind of like
physical.
a Nylander, I would say,
Yeah,
but
kind of like a Nylander, better than
yeah,
Nylander,
yeah, better than
but
Nylander.
still sort of the same player, not very physical, just more skill. But then they balance that off on the top line with a guy like Landeskog, the captain, who back in the Blues series isn't afraid to drop the gloves to defend Rantanen and absolutely pummel Braden Shen. And could you in a million years see Tavares doing something like that
No,
as our captain? Like
no.
you
Well,
in
then
the
again,
playoffs,
yeah,
you
I don't
you
like.
need
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I
you
don't think
just need
Tavares is the
guys.
problem, though. You know?
No, I neither do I, but it just speaks the
Yeah, you need
culture of
those
the
guys.
team.
Yeah.
When you have a leader who is one of your best players, but is also able, willing, and able to fight to stand up for his teammates and not only just do a like half effort fight, but
Yeah.
to actually go in and throw down and beat the guy and rally the team and get the team fired up. I that just speaks to culture. And to me, none of the Leafs core guys have
Right.
the edge or the fight
Right.
that even like you look at a guy like Spezza. Like my brother and I were saying it's my brother was saying he feels so bad for Spezza because he gave his all
Did
series.
Did you see the way that he put his head down there? That was the exact same position he was in the previous year
Yeah,
against
exactly.
Columbus.
Like you can tell, like he was leaving it all out on the ice. He looked great from start of the series to finish. He was one of the few guys on the Leafs that showed up to play every single game, every time he's on the ice.
Yeah.
And he's our fourth liner.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you about this team? When you can single out a fourth liner as a guy who's showing the most effort on this team and not one of your top players. I understand he doesn't attract the same level of defensive interest from the Habs. I understand the Habs are playing their best defensive players. As I found out last video with my critique of Danault, a lot of Habs fans were pretty salty about that. So I guess I owe you guys an apology. Apparently Danault is amazing defensively. He was up for the Selke the last 2 years. So he is great defensively, and to his credit,
Yeah.
he shut down Matthews this
Yeah.
series.
And honestly,
And
I don't think you were wrong with your statement, if I'm being honest. Like you said, like who is Dano compared to Matthews? If you watch it
yeah,
closely,
well,
that is
exactly.
that is facts, Habs fans. You can't argue that. What Tyler was basically trying to say is that like Matthews is like a top 5 player in the world who should not be shut down.
Supposedly,
Supposedly, yes. In the regular season, sure.
Yeah.
Goal scoring wise, yes, hands down.
Yes.
Not in this series. Ignore this series. But Austin Matthews is that good. He should not be shut down by anyone. That's
Yeah.
basically what he was trying to say, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's not like we're asking and expecting Matthews and Marner to have 3-point games every game, but just maybe half the time to put it like a goal every other game, or at least one big game in the series where you put up multiple points would be nice. I understand the defensive effort is up a notch in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, through 7 games, you have to figure out a way to get by a guy. I know Danault's sole focus is to not let Matthews score a goal when he's on the ice, but at the same time, Matthews' sole focus is to score a goal when Danault's on the ice.
Yeah.
So at some point, you have to figure out a way to adjust and push past it. That's what the best players do. I know there's the argument McDavid was pretty well shut down by the Jets, but you look at a guy like McKinnon, who's been great the postseason. I think he has 7 goals so far in
Up
2
against like
rounds. I
Mark
think
Stone
up against
in
Mark
Vegas.
Stone, up against Ryan O'Reilly. Like,
yeah,
the top players in the NHL figure out a way to push their play past those that are trying to
they
stop
step
them
up another
defensively.
level. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's what we see from all these star players who get into the playoffs and lead their teams to cups. They take a completely they go to another level in the playoffs. That's the easy way to put it. And we have not seen that from any of the Leafs players. None of them, except for Jason Spezza, of course. Jason Spezza is the exception. No, but Matthews, I don't know what was wrong. Like, I think like he obviously got off to a really bad start in this game. He was better as the game went on, but still it did not show up on the score sheet. And I said before this series started, we'll be fine if Matthews and Marner played the way that they did in the regular season. If they don't, then we're in trouble. We are in trouble. We are facing a really tough situation in Toronto now. Jack Campbell as well. I want to mention Jack Campbell. He was really beating himself up after the game, saying that the Gallagher goal he let in was the worst goal he's let in his NHL career. Jack Campbell, it is not your fault one bit. You kept us in this series. You broke records this year in the regular season. You won us the North Division without Frederik Andersen. You don't need to be beating yourself up at all. Leafs Nation has your back, and the players have your back. I saw Matthews kind of say something to him at the end of the game. I'm sure he was saying it's not your fault at all. We needed to be better. Jack Campbell basically saved our season. If we don't have Jack Campbell, then we don't finish first in the North, and we lose this series in fewer games, I would say. So, and also like the Gallagher goal, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like,
Yeah,
Leafs got to score more than one goal
yeah,
anyways.
exactly.
Like,
It's one goal in a game 7, where you expect the Leafs to be coming out with a little bit of energy at least, like they kind of want to win.
yeah, I mean, it's do or die, right? You would imagine, but
Yeah,
once again, they don't
yeah,
come out of the gates flying at
yeah,
home too, in front of fans, healthcare
yeah,
workers. Like you
yeah,
think they would be excited. It's win or go home, but they're just flat right from the get go.
yeah,
Again, Montreal came out flying. They led in shots after the first period once again, and they get the first goal once again. And the Leafs didn't really get any grade A scoring opportunities. Matthews had a couple. I think Riley had a good open look. Hyman had a chance in, I think, the third period that almost went in, but four chances the whole game.
yep.
You can't win. I know Carey Price is good. You got to give credit to Carey Price and the Montreal Canadiens. They did a great job of shutting the Leafs down, but this team is built to score goals.
Yep.
And they did not
Yeah,
score a goal until the 1 minute and less than a minute, right? Or no, it was like
just
1
over
minute.
a minute
Just
30, something like that.
exactly. That is unacceptable. I cannot believe
Yeah.
that. Why are we talking about this team not being able to score? If anything, maybe you let in 5 goals and lose at 5-4. You should not be getting almost shut out in an elimination game.
Yep.
I don't
Well,
get
yeah,
it.
when that is that's the one thing that every a fan of any other team in the league will admit that the Leafs are built to score goals and that they're good at scoring goals. So you expect in the playoffs that transfer over when you have guys like Tavares,
Yeah.
unfortunately was injured, but guys like Tavares, guys like Matthews, guys like Marner to an extent, who's at least setting them up in the regular season and getting a few himself. Guys like Nylander, you expect you expect more goal scoring, and back to Nylander, like he's definitely a guy that had a good series. I mean, I still won't admit that he's a playoff player just because you score goals. I mean, goals are fun, but you're ultimately just one player on a team of 18 guys that if you score great, but you're not going to single-handedly win a series by you scoring. It takes, like we were talking about, those intangible plays, the hits, the fights in the corner, the block shots. And again, I just didn't see any of that from him. And I know I should stop expecting it, but it would just be nice to see even one game in the playoffs, to see a little fire lit under Nylander where he comes out and is willing to throw the body because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's over 200 pounds. He's 6'1" or 6'2". There's no reason why he can't occasionally hit a guy. I'm not talking about big open ice hip checks. Just finish your check in the corner when you're forechecking.
Yeah.
That's all Leafs fans are asking for
Yeah.
in the play. Not even in the regular season, just in the playoffs. Finish your checks. That's how you win in the playoffs. And if you're not finishing checks, you're not going to win. And then another guy, Hyman. I think Hyman again had a good game, like game 6, or was it game 6? Whatever game
Hyman played well pretty all series, I would say.
yeah, Hyman played well. Hyman was the most consistently good player on the Leafs top line. When he's supposed to
Yes.
be the third best player on that line, he was the most consistently good throughout the entire series. Maybe not
Yes.
individual games, but
The
if you
thing
take
is with
that
Hyman as well, like,
baseline,
yeah. With Hyman,
he,
like, he creates all the scoring chances too. Even though he
yeah,
doesn't pass Matthews the puck, he's the one that gets the puck. In
yeah,
the first period, like, he would go like east to west
yeah,
to chase down the puck and get the puck and give it to
yeah,
Matthews for a scoring opportunity. He's the one guy that that works his hardest to lead to those scoring chances that Marner and
yeah,
Matthews gets. So yeah, exactly. He was the most consistent player, but then again, with Hyman, he can't score. Unfortunately, he can't shoot the puck. He can get the puck, but
yeah.
he can't shoot the puck. That's the one downside with Hyman. But I think he played well. I don't think we need to talk that much bad things about Nylander because he was one of our best players in this entire playoff run. Um, I I don't really want to pick on these guys. I know they're feeling it right now. But changes are going to be made. There's no question. There's going to be a time
Is there
where
no question though? Is there no question? Do you think that the Leafs will dive in and make a big move in the offseason? Like one of the core guys? Because
well,
I have
you know what I was
I
going to
have
say?
well, I figured that's where you were going, but I'll
I
let you
wasn't
finish.
saying trade, but I was just gonna say like there's gonna be a time when Leafs management is gonna have to sit down and at least like talk about what's gonna happen with these players. Like you can be sad all you want about it right now and make all the excuses you want, but when the fan base is not accepting your apology for a couple months and not going to accept the excuses that you give, you seriously have to sit down, look at your team, look at your core, look at your systems that you're playing with, look at the coach, look at the GM's vision, and someone from higher ups, I guess it's going to be Brandon Shanahan. He has to realize like, okay, we might not be able to win playing this way anymore with the analytic style. And if Leafs Nation is demanding Mitch Marner out of town, maybe you listen because maybe we know something that the management doesn't know. Maybe you should listen to the fans. And I know like the thing is with Dubas, like he's listened to us a lot, right? Tavares, we wanted Tavares, got Tavares, Jumbo Joe. We needed a defenseman, we got Brody, Muzzin as well. I guess Jack Campbell you can throw in there, Simmons, Bogosian, bigger bodies. Um, I don't know who is to really blame. I don't want to blame Dubas because I think he did a lot of moves to help us and put us in the position, but and I thought
I
Keefe
think
was a good
it's
coach too, but
I don't
I don't
think
know.
there's one person to blame.
Yeah,
It's
it's just a
it's
collective
it's
effort.
we get back, it's the culture of the team. The
Yeah.
way built through the draft the last X number of years, the way free agent signings
Well,
have gone, coaching, AHL development, it's
look,
top to
I
bottom
don't
of the
agree with.
organization.
I don't disagree with building through the draft, but maybe just draft better. I feel like
Well,
championships are won.
exactly.
Championships are won through the draft more so than
Definitely.
trades.
Yes. Because
Um,
that's how you build the team culture, by getting a guy young
yeah.
and you mold him into like the style of play that is your organization. So to me, it's a complete top to bottom culture shift that needs to happen. I don't know how that
It's
happens.
gonna
I
take a
don't
couple
know.
years.
Well,
It's
exactly.
gonna
But
take some
I
time.
that is what has to happen.
What am I saying? Couple of years. It's gonna take like decades. What am I saying?
5 years in a row of first round exit in the playoffs. I don't know what more we can wait for before we decide that this group of players isn't capable of winning. Like you said, the learning from losses. Yeah, that's cute back in the first time we made the playoffs against the Capitals with
Yeah.
this group of players.
Yeah.
And every nobody was expecting it, and the
Yeah.
team was young, and we pushed it to 6, and it was like, wow, this team looks great. Like, and
Yeah.
then yeah, back then we accepted, yeah, for sure, it's a learning experience. These guys are still young. They're
Uh-huh.
getting they're realizing what playoff hockey's like. They're realizing they need to step up their level, and pushing a team like Washington to 6 games is huge for a young team like that.
Well, hold on.
But
Okay,
then
I know where you're going here, but like against Boston, right? I'll give them the credit as well. Boston's a very tough team. Boston went on, I'm pretty sure, long playoff runs the 2 years that we lost to them. And then last year against Columbus, like I at least heading into the playoffs, like you would think that we would win that round, but there's no way we move on past the first round because we'd be playing Tampa Bay. Like we had no expectations to move on there. And like I said last video, our team wasn't very, very good. Like the core was the same, but we knew we were lacking defensive depth. We knew Frederick Anderson was having one of the worst seasons of his career. We knew that Sheldon Keefe was a new coach and it might take him some time to really get his system set on. And it's a pandemic that hits, right? And you're off for a couple months. It's a 5-game series too against Columbus, right? And of course we get goalied. I will give them credit there. The one thing that is so painful about this one is that management said that this is the team. This is the team, right? This is Kyle Dubas's team. You add the physicality, the veterans, all that with the young. You have the superstars now. They're developed for 5 years. You have a Maurice Rocket Richard winner in Austin Matthews on your team who scored 41 goals. This looks like a complete team on paper, right? This looks like a team that could win if they lived up to expectations that that we believed that they would have because of the regular season that they had. But they didn't. That's the thing. That's the thing. They were not able to execute what they did in the regular season into the playoffs because they played the exact same way that they did in the regular season. And they expected it to translate over, but no, playoffs is a different game. And I know what you're getting at. Dubas has to realize that this team is not a playoff team. Obviously, they have to change the identity to become more of a playoff team and not all skill based. Because like we said in the last video, that stuff wins you in the regular season, but not in the playoffs. I think that really sums it up. Like, I'm not even that frustrated tonight. Not as much as last game, I would say. I am interested to see what management says in the next couple of days. I want to hear Dubas talk. I know he's going to hate talking to the media. I know it's going to really hurt. I hope Shanahan says something too. It's going to be a really interesting offseason. And geez, summer would be so much more fun if the Leafs went on a run or at least made it to the second round. It sucks that this was the last Leafs game of the year. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it a week ago. That's for sure. I was looking forward to maybe some round 2 hockey, and you got 3 shots at it. You went 0 for 3. You can look at the costly mistake in Game 5 with Galchenyuk and the costly mistake with Dermott in Game 6 as the turning points. Or you can just look at Game 7 where, with everything on the line, the Leafs just didn't show up. And that's
Yep.
unacceptable. So,
Oh, one last thing.
yeah.
I texted you about with that goal, the one Leafs goal in the minute with a minute 30 left. whose idea is it to play that stupid goal song? Like, I texted you that and you 100% agreed with me. What are we celebrating? What are we celebrating? Being
Yeah.
3-1 down in game 7, scoring your first goal of the game with a minute 30 left in the third. What
Yeah.
is there to celebrate? And to see Marner, all
Yeah.
the other players looked pretty like he
He
skates over,
he
rips his
raised
mouth
his
guard out.
yeah,
Whoa! Like,
raised his
what
stick.
are you
Yeah.
doing, man? How oblivious can you be to a
Yeah.
situation
I was
to
watching.
react
Yeah,
like that?
I said that live as too. Like, why are you even celebrating? Like, it's over.
Yeah, it honestly, that it left a sour taste in my mouth more than anything else. To just that image will be the last image I remember of the 2020-2021 Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Marner skating over like a madman to celebrate a Leafs goal being down 3-1 with a minute 30 left in the third period of game 7. And I think that's just a great kind of microcosm for the whole team. You know,
Yeah.
they lose 3-1 in that game. They blow the 3-1 lead. So now we have the those memes to look forward to with the Leafs, the blowing the 3-1 lead. They lose another game 7. And for the, I don't want to say 5th year in a row, but I would say 4th year in a row, I'll give them the credit for that first
Yeah. Nobody
time we
expected them to make the
lost. Nobody
playoffs.
expected them to make the playoffs. We did. We pushed it 6 games. That's good. For the 4th year in a row, Leafs fans are left with a sour taste in their mouth on the last game of the year. And yeah, like you said, it'll be an interesting offseason. We'll have to see what happens. My guess would be adding another 6th defenseman and another gritty bottom 6 guy, and then we'll go into the season looking like cup contenders, and we'll lose in the first round again. But maybe they'll prove me wrong. But I guess yeah, like you said, we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, at this point, let's just hope they don't make the playoffs next year, so we don't have to go through this heartbreak, right? Like,
Yeah,
what's the point,
I
anyways?
I would. Yep, definitely.
Like, just end our season a bit early. Just don't get our hopes up. Just
Yeah,
finish last. It was a lot easier when they were just tanking. You know,
yeah, yeah. You knew what to expect, and you
go
weren't
on another
disappointed. But
rebuild. Oh, no, we're all over the place now, but I'm sure there will be a podcast at some point down the road talking about what the Leafs will be doing in the offseason. We got the NHL draft lottery to look forward to on Wednesday, even though we don't have a pick, or we wouldn't even be in the lottery anyways. Yeah, that's nothing. But free agency is gonna come up at some point soon. I don't know what the date is for that, but yeah, I'm just rambling now. I don't know. This team, man. This team drives us crazy. Yeah, I'm looking at the chance right. The 7 career games with a chance to win the series. Mitch Marner has 1 point and is -6. Yeah, 0 shooting percentage, no goals. Yeah. So I guess that does it. I don't want to end this because I've had a lot of fun doing these reactions with Tyler. Sucks that it's had to come to an end this early. But yeah, thank you guys for all the views on the last video and a lot of the thumbs up. I know there was a lot of hate in the comments. But hey, it's a good hockey debate. I honestly appreciate everybody sharing their opinions, and it's fun to talk hockey. And at the end of the day, we're all hockey fans. So we love the sport and we love to chat about it. And we all think that we're experts, and it's fun. It's fun banter. But clearly a lot of people liked the video, at least too. I think it got over like 80 thumbs up. So that's nice to see as well. Also 100 subscribers. That's pretty special. I uploaded my very first podcast on June 3rd, 2020. And we're approaching June 3rd once again, and hitting 100 subscribers. I think we're at 113 now, is a pretty good goal. I think my goal was to hit 100 by the end of this year. And to do it already is pretty good. So already the most viewed episode too. So clearly people just really like watching Leafs fans get angry and our sad faces. I can understand why Steve Dangle does this for a living now. So
Hey, there's
yeah,
apparently a gap in his role, so maybe you
no, we're
like
not
him.
doing this every game. That's for sure. Oh no. No, definitely
Uh,
not. Yeah, I can see why he's gonna stop, and that's sad because I love Steve Dangle, and I've watched all. I didn't watch as many videos as I would have liked to this year of his, But yeah, that would be really unfortunate if he stops. But I just hope he's happy and his mental health comes first. Yeah, I guess that does it. Like I said, I don't want to end this, but it's got to come to an end. The superstitions did not work, obviously. But yeah, Leafs got an interesting offseason coming up. We will see you guys very soon with an episode. Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather on Sunday. I will be covering it. I will be doing a podcast on that. It's a big, big fight. That's it. Tyler, thank you once again for coming on for all of these. And bye. I don't know. I don't want to say go Leafs go. Go Leafs go next year. That's about it. So we'll see you guys later.